Now from KWWL, this is the Steele Report.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Steele Report, as we are here today to talk once again about the great ongoing work of Leader Valley here. And I have three special guests, as you can see. Let's meet them right now. I want to welcome back to the program for the first time in about 4 years. This is Dr. Melissa Reed, who is the Executive Director of Leader Valley. Melissa, thanks for coming back to the show. And I'd like to welcome to the program for the very first time, this is Katie Hillier. Katie is a co-owner of a relatively new business here in the area of the Cedar Valley, True North Restoration of Iowa, but she also happens to be the Leader Valley Council Chair, and she'll be here to talk more about the program as well. So Katie, welcome to the Steele Report. And also welcome, this is Henry Shepard, the Assistant Principal at Expo Alternative Learning Center in Waterloo, and he is also, by the way, the Leader Valley Administrator of the Year. So Henry, congratulations on that. So all of you, welcome to the show for today. Now, Melissa, let's go back to January 31st of 2021, right in the middle of COVID. And here's the video from the last program we did with Leader Valley. And you were on the program along with Sunny Hart, who at that time was principal at Orange Elementary School, and a 16-year-old Expo student, Dontavius Perez, was also on that program. We'll talk a little bit more about him because Henry happens to know Dontavius and what he's up to these days. We'll see what he's up to. But first of all, I think we should really just talk, what is Leader Valley? What do you try to do? I know it's all about leadership and giving students opportunities to succeed and excel as best they possibly can. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, Leader Valley is a nonprofit really focused on leadership development here in the Cedar Valley. We have two primary focuses. One that we're most known for is Leader in Me in our K-12 schools all over the Cedar Valley. And the other is our business programming that really focuses on professional leadership development.
Before we go any further, let's take a look at a video, just a short video clip of what this is really all about.
Leader Valley is a nonprofit based here in the Cedar Valley, focused entirely on leadership development. Our primary mission is bringing Leader in Me, which is a leadership program, to our K-12 schools. But we also serve our current talent pool, the existing people out in our community, working hard to develop them as leaders.
Leader Valley has been an amazing resource for us. We can reach out to them and they're there to support or provide resources or guidance.
We're growing tomorrow's leaders today, and it starts right here. It starts in the classrooms across the Cedar Valley, and the resources we get through Leader Valley is imperative for that work to continue.
You're first teaching explicitly the 7 habits, but as the kids get older, now they're applying more of the behaviors, attitudes.
We have a lot of activities and a lot of posters to remind you. We always try to grow, serve, and inspire. And that helps kind of with our Leader in Me.
We have little jobs at our school, so I've had Rory, right now Student Lighthouse. I've been on the news team, and I've been a reading buddy.
It's a culture that just becomes natural for them. It's more ingrained in them.
It's in how we present ourselves. It's in the lessons that we lead. The language is embedded in everything we do. So it's just more about who we are.
Being a leader, it just means to be there for the people that need it the most. Being able to help guide and just be there to stand up when nobody else will.
The Leadership and Legacy Scholarship is for any student in Black Hawk County. What we're looking for is not necessarily the students that you always see that are out front. It allows us to focus in on those kids who may not have those typical leadership qualities that some people might think of. We're able to see that and pull that out of them and help them see that we all have that capacity in us, and we're able to help them nurture it.
We also have programming for our business community. And one of the core programs is Elevate Leadership Academy. Elevate is an 8-month cohort leadership program really dedicated to mid-level leaders who are wanting to elevate their leadership skills and impact.
You can be great in your job, but then you get promoted to be a leader of people. And that is a completely different ballgame because those are different skills. And what Elevate is really helping to do is build up those skills in order to effectively lead a team.
We also have leadership accelerators, which are one-day leadership courses. We partner with Franklin Covey to access their content. It is highly researched and very relevant for today's leaders.
I always learn something. It always enhances my skills, gives me some tools, gives me something to think about.
Everybody has gifts and talents and leadership qualities that they can and should share with other people. And I think without Leader in Me and the opportunities we have through Leader Valley, a lot of kids wouldn't realize that they had those.
The Cedar Valley cannot grow and really truly be great if we don't have strong leaders in our communities.
Someone should support Leader Valley because they care about the future of our community and our youth.
We have made a big impact in the lives of students, educators, families, business, and community, and that is only going to continue to grow. The future is bright. We're super excited. We'd love for you to be part of this big leadership journey with us.
And where are you located?
Yeah, well, we used to be located in the TechWorks building, nestled in with Grove Cedar Valley, but now we currently are out in the Cedar Falls Industrial Park, and we're renting a little space from Amperage Marketing and Fundraising.
The Amperage folks, they do fantastic work out there. In fact, a lot of them used to work here at KWWL, as a matter of fact. They also did your video, right?
They did.
Yeah.
The video that you just saw, Amperage created, and I don't think we can speak enough about the partnership that Leader Valley has with Amperage. We're so appreciative of their partnership, their expertise, and guiding us from the very beginning. Back in 2012, they've been part of the ride with us.
Yeah, they do fantastic work. There's absolutely no doubt about that. What do you see, Katie, as the future of Leader Valley and your involvement in it, particularly your company with True North Restoration and other companies?
Yeah, so I think really the vision for Leader Valley is to be the place in the Cedar Valley for leadership. So if someone thinks leadership, they think I want to develop as a leader, or I know someone who I really think has leadership potential, they think of Leader Valley. And Leader Valley has the programming to support them, again, whether they're a child and starting in preschool or they've been in their career for 20, 30 years. Anyone who wants to continue developing as a leader, Leader Valley has the resources for them.
You have a relatively new business. You're getting going, not just here in Iowa, but you're trying to spread it out. So how does working with Leader Valley help you and help the students?
Yeah, so as a business owner, a lot of times, you want to train your employees, you want to help your employees develop as leaders, but you may not necessarily have the resources to be able to do that. And that's really where Leader Valley can come in. So whether it's sending an employee or two employees to a training, or even bringing Leader Valley into your organization, Leader Valley provides a variety of topics and skill training all surrounding leadership that can be beneficial to employees at all levels of the organization.
And so there are a lot of school buildings in the Waterloo Community School District. Henry, yours happens to be Expo, and yours is kind of an unusual situation because you have students who maybe wanted to come to your school rather than go to the main high school or main school. So how does it help your students? Because talking about Dontavius from when we'd had him on 4 years ago, what a difference it made in his life.
Yeah, well, thanks, Ron. I'm really glad you brought up Dontavius. He really is one of our success stories. Dontavius got involved with Leader in Me when he was involved in our Bridges program at Expo. I'm not for sure people realize how many different programs we have at Expo and all the services we provide, but we operate about 10 different programs, and this year we're running on 2 different campuses. So when we first were introduced to Dontavius, he was in our Bridge program, which is a program that supports students who are in between 8th grade and high school. Dontavius went on from there to be obviously a success story. Graduated, he's in the community, he's working out at Friendship Village. Everybody who knows Dontavius knows that he loves to sing gospel music, and he is still doing that.
In fact, here's Dontavius today. He's employed out at Cedar Stone Senior Living. That's at 4715 Algonquin Drive in Cedar Falls. Really a beautiful facility out there, and I thank everyone at Cedar Stone Senior Living for letting me stop by to let Dontavius tell us what he's up to these days.
Well, first of all, Leader Valley has in so many ways grew me and inspired me to be way more than what I ever thought I ever would be. They gave me the strength to not only just find a leader, but to spread my leadership, and I can definitely say that I'm way more confident and I'm way more eligible to do above and beyond what I would actually ever do. And I'm so grateful for those moments. So right now I am a medication partner and I am full-time here. Not only that, in the fall I will be doing nursing school. I'll be going for my LPN and then later on my RN BSN. But yes, here I am full-time and it's an amazing place. I would have never thought that I would end up in such a big blessing working at Cedar Stone, but I truly do enjoy it. I just got accepted, praise God. I'll be going to Hawkeye Community College. And it's, I know it'll be a little struggle, but thanks to Leader Valley and thanks to here, they've taught me to know how to handle those things and to not give up and to know that it's okay to want to give up, but you'll grow.
So he kind of paved the way for a lot of kids. Students who have followed after Dontavius have looked up to him, and he gave them purpose for joining Lighthouse and being part of our Leader Me program at Expo.
How many kids are involved and how many schools? I think a lot of people are under the impression that maybe just the Waterloo Community School District, but it's much bigger than that. So why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so over the years we've really grown to be able to serve so many schools across the greater Cedar Valley. We currently serve 9 districts, 31 schools, stretching all the way up north to Nashua Plainfield, down south to Grundy Center, and east to Don Bosco, and then everywhere in between. So with those 31 schools, we serve 12,000 students. So 12,000 students really developing leadership skills is making a great mark here in the Cedar Valley.
Another aspect of this within Leader Valley is what we call a lighthouse school. That's a pretty significant designation. So Melissa, what exactly is a lighthouse school? How do they get that? How many people are involved in that? How many schools?
Right now, we are home to 8 lighthouse schools, which is one of the highest concentrations of lighthouse schools in the area. And what that means is that schools who've been engaged in the Leader in Me process for several years have seen marked differences in leadership, culture, and academics. So they've seen a great impact that has impacted both their students and the adults, and has shifted their culture to one that really focuses on leadership. Henry, do you want to speak a little bit about Expo and their Lighthouse journey?
I would be glad to. We started our Lighthouse journey at Expo many years ago. It is a rigorous process. There are a lot of Leader in Me schools in the Cedar Valley, as Melissa was saying, but a small percentage of those schools that are Leader in Me schools actually go on to become a Lighthouse school. There's a lot of work that goes into it from the staff, the students, and the families and the community in order to get that accreditation. Once you become a Lighthouse school, you still have to continually recertify to keep that accreditation. At this point, I think Expo is the only secondary Lighthouse school in the state, probably one of less than a couple in the country, and the only alternative school in the world. Because, Ron, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but Leader in Me, the Leader in Me program is a worldwide program. It's not something that is just in the United States. So that's another thing to be proud of when you're a Lighthouse school.
And you're based on a book that's been out for many, many years, right?
Yeah, it's the seminal work by Dr. Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And so all we're doing is really teaching kids the principles and practices of effectiveness. And we're starting as early as preschool, so that we don't wait till adulthood to figure out what being effective really looks like.
As you're seeing, there's so many aspects of Leader Valley, and one of the things I wanted to talk about right now with Katie, leadership.
Elevate Leadership Academy.
There we go.
Yes.
Elevate Leadership Academy. I knew I was in the ballpark. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so Elevate Leadership Academy is an 8-month cohort program that is designed to take mid-level leaders and give them the skills that they need to elevate to the next level of leadership. This is the inaugural year for the program. And we really had a group of, several professionals, managers, HR professionals from the Cedar Valley who put together the program and really designed it to really target the skills that, again, those kind of first-time or middle-level leaders really need to, continue advancing in their career.
I had a chance to stop by Leader Valley's Elevate Leadership Academy this week. The Diamond Event Center hosted the Leadership Academy on Tuesday, and a very nice group of area young professionals who all have that desire to become better leaders in their own companies and all across the Cedar Valley. Very nice event. Katie, is there a registration that goes along with that that's necessary, and is there a deadline? I want you to talk about that a little bit.
Yes. So there is a registration deadline. Registration opens though May 1st, and so we would really encourage anyone who's interested in developing their leadership skills, advancing in their organization, or if you are a manager and have someone on your team who you would really like to see grow and develop, applying for Elevate would be a great opportunity. So May 1st is when those applications do open.
We'll talk more about Leader Valley in just a moment. There are many other businesses, I assume, are involved in addition to True North Restoration. That's Katie's company. How many businesses are you working with, and how many would you like to be working with?
We'd have to estimate, but I would guess that we're actively working with 15 to 20 businesses who are sending folks to different leadership opportunities with us. We would love to expand the reach, though, to all Cedar Valley businesses, especially small and mid-sized businesses who don't really have that infrastructure for learning and development for their teams.
So give us an example of, let's say a business contacts Leader Valley, wants to be involved. How would that work then? Would a student come and work for them, or be an intern, or what's the composition of that, so to speak?
Yeah, so it's actually geared for our current workforce. Okay. So when we're talking our business programming, it is for those that are already out in the workforce and just needing to refine or develop leadership skills. It could look like them coming to a Leadership Accelerator, which is a community class. Could look like them coming to Elevate Academy, like Katie was talking about, or it could look like us going into business, creating a custom leadership session for their team.
So they can just contact Leader Valley. We'll put the website up here a few times during the interview. You probably noticed that already. That's the best way to get a hold of you and trying to make a kind of an introductory what's this all about type of thing?
Yeah, for sure. They can call or email Leader Valley. We would appreciate that.
You know, we took some time talking about Dontavius, but you have a current team in place for Lighthouse right now. Henry, what's that all about? And why don't you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. So one of the reasons I really like the Leader in Me program, let alone Lighthouse, just put that off to the side for a minute, but the Leader in Me program for young people, it helps them identify the leader in them. And so many of our kids have a mindset that they're not leaders. Somewhere along the line, they picked up that notion that they're not a leader, that a leader looks like this person or looks like that person, but it's not them. Mm-hmm. And we really are trying to shift that mindset that being a leader can look so many different ways, Ron. For some of our kids, a leader is a person out front leading assemblies, doing announcements. But for other students, they're leading behind the scenes. And so I think that's really important, especially at Expo Alternative School, because our students are typically students who don't necessarily find their niche in the traditional high school track or middle school track, and they come to Expo and they find a home there, and it's very supportive, and they feel comfortable enough to start dipping their toes into Leader in Me, and they get involved with Lighthouse. They start coming to meetings. We do regular meetings every Thursday during lunch that are student ran, and we have staff who are advisors, and almost weekly, we'll have students bring a friend with them just to check out Lighthouse and see what it's about. This person wants to hear what we're doing. This person thinks they might want to get involved. And I think it's great that we have those opportunities in the Cedar Valley for our students, especially for our kids at Expo Alternative Learning Center. And I know I'm biased, but I think we have some of the best kids in the Cedar Valley, and I've seen this program do amazing things for them.
Yeah, and one of the things that we've always talked about on this program too is the key word in many cases is the word opportunity. You give someone an opportunity, they will surprise you with what they can do. And you know, for me personally, I've always been inspired by leaders who made me want to come to work, and I enjoyed coming to work. And when I got here, I wanted to do the best I could for that particular boss, you know. And so there's a lot of different ways of you can be a leader, and boy, you must have seen some incredible examples, and you must be really proud of what this program is doing.
Yeah, I think back to, we started Leader Valley 12 years ago, and almost 13 years ago, and we were piloting Leader in Me with 2 schools. And I'm super proud of all the work that we are engaged with across the Cedar Valley with our schools. Our educators work hard, our students are developing, and what I think is probably the most beautiful thing is that this is for all of our students. This isn't just for some students in a school or some schools, this is for all students to really have that opportunity like you talked about.
It takes a lot of work, a lot of behind the scenes work to really create a true Leader in Me school and environment, let alone a Lighthouse school. And so it's not just the students who are being supported, it's also with the adults. Throughout the year, we're fortunate enough over the years, we've had wonderful staff from the Leader Valley come in. Our coach, who has been most recent, is Shantavia Parker. We love her, and she comes in and provides PD to our staff. Any new staff member, regardless of what their role is to our building and regardless of what campus they work on, we send them to the Leader in Me New Teacher, New Staff Institute, which is paramount. If we want this philosophy in our schools, if we want this embedded into everything we do, the staff have to own that as well. And so we can expect them to teach something and ask the students to live by a certain code if they're not doing the same thing. So it's really important that the staff also are part of this movement, this Leader Valley movement. Even in order to become a Lighthouse school, as a school, we took numerous workshops as an entire school. Melissa, I don't know if you remember, but you provided our very first staff PD probably 10 years ago or so, and her feedback to Carrie Whelan, the administrator, and myself afterwards gave us reason to pause and think if we were on the right track. But we persevered, and I'm glad we did to be where we're at right now. It took some work, and it took a lot of support, and the people at Leader Valley were wonderful at that and continue to do wonderful things behind the scenes to help not just our school, not just Expo, but all the schools that are involved in this movement in the Leader Valley.
I think a lot of people probably wonder, Dr. Reed, where does the funding come from? And I assume you're always, like other nonprofits, you're in need of funding.
Yeah, it's a competitive landscape for nonprofits, certainly, and we're so blessed in the Cedar Valley to have so many amazing nonprofits, but we do need to think about, how do we continue this work and how can we continue to expand our reach of leadership to all students and into the community. And so, we really focus on grant funding. We've had a fabulous partner in Tom Penaluna, who we consider the founder and father of Leader Valley. He has generously provided some seed money for us when we were first starting out, and generously providing a huge $500,000 match for us right now in this moment. So we have a real opportunity to match any gifts that are given. Those that are under $2,000, he matches 1 for 1. So anything over $2,000 is a double match. So that immediately turns in, that $2,000 match turns into a $6,000 gift to Leader Valley.
Yeah, Tom Penaluna, just an incredible individual. He's done so much for the Cedar Valley, and he's still doing a lot and will continue to do more. And there's a scholarship part of this too that goes beyond what the $500,000 that Tom is working with, right?
Yeah, that's right. So we've been super fortunate to partner with Tom around our Leadership and Legacy Scholars. So this is a 4-year, $10,000 scholarship for young minority leaders, student leaders in the Cedar Valley. And it can go towards 2-year or 4-year college experience, but we really wanted to help minimize the barriers that so many of our students face as they head off into the post-secondary world. We actually will be launching our 3rd cohort's application in May. And so if they are planning to go to college this fall, so they can apply online in May, and we will get those scholarships awarded as soon as the middle of June. We've got amazing board members and executive committee members, volunteer teams that put on amazing events in our community, and donors, investors, just so many people that have helped lift up leadership in the Cedar Valley, and we couldn't be more grateful.
Best of luck, and hopefully people will respond to what they've seen here today as far as Leader Valley and what you're doing with all of our amazing students here. More on the Steele Report coming up in just a moment. Well, today we bring the Steele Report to an end after 12 years and 579 episodes. A big thank you in this great run to all my amazing guests, and particularly to all of you for being loyal viewers. Thanks for watching.